Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices, and starting with the S&P on the 4-hour chart here. So as you know from the Christmas low here, we've been counting to the upside in 5 waves. So wave 1 and wave 2 here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, the fourth wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 5 of 1. So we're very close to a top here. A top may be in place here, but I was looking for one more little push to the upside here. So let's go in and look at this and talk about it, because we're going to need a bit of a strategy for this here. So let's go to the hourly chart here. So from this wave 4 here to this top area that I was looking at here, I was looking at this here. This is definitely wave 1 here, and you can see that quite clearly on the cash market. Wave 2 here, and we've got a nice strong third wave here. Now I guess it's possible that we could put this wave 4 here and this wave 5 here and have a top in play here. So if that is the case, then we need to be short down here further. We're going to look at this on the tick chart. But this move up through here, it looks like it's a little 5-wave structure, but the problem with it is that on the cash market it hasn't made a new high here. It's actually lower, so it's a better fit for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave moving down here. So an A and a B and a C moving here. So that low here becomes quite critical here at this point here. Okay, so if that is breached, basically we would be moving lower down at that point. We could move in earlier than that, and there's a variety of things that we can do here, because if the market does move down to this old low here, all it's going to do really isn't it's going to give us a bit of a bounce here in 3 waves here before moving lower. So you can just draw a line across there and get your position there. But we also have to be mindful that if this count here is correct, then this would be up for 1 here, back for 2 here, and 3, 4, 5. But the problem with this little move up through here, it just doesn't look like a 5-wave structure when we go to the tick chart here. The other point here too is that now that the market's moved back down below here, this line through here, the 2750, which is the midpoint. So in terms of the trading levels from each 100 points, so from 700 to 800 here, we break that down into 3 groups. So we've got group 1 here, which is 1, 2 and 3, and then we've got the midpoint here, the halfway mark, and then we've got group 2, which is 65, 72 and 80, and they all play a role in going long or going short. So they act differently at different times. So let's just go into the tick chart here and have a look at this little move to the upside here. So it's okay having this as the A wave here and a B wave here, and then a C wave down here. It's rather sharp for a C wave, but that sort of haunts me a little bit, because a C wave is normally not the sharp move down. Wave A here, and then wave C is normally on more of an angle. The other point here too is that the move up here in terms of wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then we could look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So this is really just a 3rd wave here with this here. So I would normally look at this as a 4th wave, but as a 4th wave it's already overlapping the top of wave 1 here. So it really makes a nice corrective wave here. So this wave 4 here is already pulled down further than the 40%, the 38.2%. So I wouldn't want to see, because I could just simply label this as wave B here and wave C over here for wave 4 over here, and have this as the A wave here, an A and a B and a C here. But that would take the market down too low for this particular wave 4 area here. So that's a bit of a problem in labeling it that way. So I'll just come back to this way here. So something's not quite right here. And as I mentioned, this high here is much lower in the physical market. So I don't want to label it as wave here. I mean, if Yeah, so it's just not making sense. I mean, I could even squash this up into here. I've thought about this as well, and having wave 5 here on this last 5 waves and having a top in place here. But even on the futures market here, we've got a spike above here, so I can't do that either. So I have a bit of a problem. So when I've got a problem, it's just becomes strategy at that point. So the strategy is that if this top here, I can't draw on this side here, but I'll just put that in green here. If that is breached to the upside here, then we can look to go short there. So that's the trigger for the long side here. You can get that down a bit lower, and let's do that. Let's get it down to this low here. Okay, so it's that low. I can't draw over this side. It's a bit annoying. The other side of this too is that if I can just copy that, this low here, if that's breached, but we could also go lower here as well into this space here for this. So really we're just narrowing it down. We would normally take the top here or the low here, but we're bringing it down so we get triggered one way or the other. Make sure that your first trade is not a full trade, it's just a partial trade, and then you can build in that particular direction. To the upside will be fine, to the downside will be a little bit tricky. So keep the partial trade on the short side, and the long trade will be fine. If you're scalping, then the 2772 here would be the target to the upside here. But yeah, just wait for our charts to come out on the London opening times. Right. The other point here too is the charts that we put out. We had the Australian timestamp on them, but we've changed that to the US time, so it's New York time for the S&P for those for the charts now. So you'll see them in US times. That's why it's a little bit confusing. Okay, so that's that, and also too for the tech stock, it's as much the same as well here. So I don't need to go into a lot of details. So wave 3, wave 4, wave 1 and 2 here, and wave 3, ABC for wave 4, and we're looking for a move higher into 7,100 here. So if this is correct here, then we'll also be looking for wave 1 and 2 here, wave 3 and 4 and 5 here. So you should be able to count those structures there because the extension's in wave 3 here. So wave 1 and wave 5 will be roughly the same. Or another way to look at it is take 61.8% of wave 3 and add it to this point here. But it's always better to count the wave structures here. Obviously, if this is I'll just move that. If that's breached, then because we're looking for a top, and if we're right, then sometimes the tops never really pan out the way that you would like them to. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Okay, so this I just call it the Christmas run because it's normally runs up into Christmas, doesn't it? But obviously Santa had things to do, so he came late. But this stock here is Adobe, and it's the same, much the same as the other ones. But we haven't looked at this one before, but I just thought that I would. So it's much the same here as well for Adobe. So we can see we've got a clear wave 1 and 2 here in this instance, and we can look at all of this being wave 3 and 4 here, and then wave 5 to the upside. So we'll have 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 and 5 into here. So we're also close to a top here. We can also look at this in terms of other stocks as well. We've been looking at Amazon. So in fact, I might just have a look at Amazon and Apple on our charts, other charts here. Just bear with me a sec. There's not much change in them as such. So Amazon here, we're looking for, we've got here from the top here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and wave 3 and 4 and 5 here for the A wave, and A and a B and a C for the B wave, and down for the C wave here. And then we've got 5 waves to the upside here. we're looking for it to pull back into the 1500 area through here. That would be the 50-60% retracement level. We do have already a little ABC pattern here, so that's what I wanted to talk about here a little bit. I'll just go to the 1 hour chart here, a bit more detail. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. I'll just stay in this space here. Now, the natural thing was that we were going to pull back to the 50-60% retracement level here at 1500. Okay, so that's still on the cards. But we do have this little A wave here, a B wave here, and C wave here. So it's possible that we're already in this space here at the moment. What I don't have in this little move up through here is I don't have 5 waves in that little structure just yet. I only have like 3 waves up here. So if we're going to go long, we want the 1650 as the support. Okay. The other way to arrange this as well, if that ends up just being 3 waves here and the market basically breaches down through here, then what we'll have to do is we'll have to have this as the C wave here. So I'll just move that out the way here, and we'll have to look at that as the A wave here, the B wave here, and 5 waves down for the C wave here. So you could short this low here if you wanted to. Because otherwise we'd have this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then 5 up to here. But even if we get 5 up here as well, let's just say that we move up here in wave 5 here, then it's that high there that you want. And then we'll be looking for an ABC pattern here, and then further up here. So that long trade here would take that green line on that top here, and then you can also bring that down to the next one here. But the key here is that you want the 1650, which is a medium level in regards to the trading levels. You want that as a tested support. That's the safe trade to the upside. You want the safe trade. Otherwise, we'll be pulling lower from here, and yeah, we can go short below here, but only do a partial position here on this here. Apple's a little bit different, as you know, so let me just have a look at Apple. It's Alphabet. I'm showing Apple because it's a little bit different, because from the top here we've got 5 waves to the downside in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for 1, back for 2 here, and then a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the third wave. Fourth wave is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, very clear. So far up here we've got, looks like we've got 3 waves up here, doesn't it? So yeah, what we're kind of waiting for is that if we get 5 waves here, then we're going to get a correction. We're going to get another 5 here. Okay, so let's just go into the hourly chart and check this out here. So with this one here, we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5. So we're in the third wave here. So this can pull back to the 38.2% retracement level here for Apple. So we can look at this in this space here. So it can, this is the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. This is the 38.2% here. So it's possible for this to drop here. We're not really going to act on this. Yes, it could have a 3-wave correction here, and as an A and a B and a C here, and drop from that point. But we'll look at that in due course. So this can be an A wave here, an A, B, C for the B wave, and then drop down here to the 165 area here. The 165 is part of what we call group 2, so 65, 72 and 80 here. You could go long on this market if you wanted to here. If you're long already, then you have to accommodate, you either get out now or you accommodate a move back into this space here before moving up. And anyway, that's that. If you want to go long again here, we can copy that. We can go long above the 72 here. So you need the 72 as support, and you can go long again from that particular point there. So that's where we are with Apple. So we really just want to find out if we're going to get 5 waves up, because if we get 5 waves, we're going to get another 5 waves up, and we can trade that, and that will be a safe trade. Let's just have a look at a couple of other markets here while I'm here. So just go through let's have a look at eBay and Square, even though I haven't got them labeled here. So in this case here, this is pretty much on the Christmas run as well here. So yeah, so in this case here, it would be something like wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third, back for the fourth, and up for the fifth. So we're very close here too for this market, that's eBay. And also I just wanted to have a look at the other one that was sitting under this one here, which was Square. So SQ Square. So that are they a finance company? I think they are, aren't they? They're a payment gateway or something. So this one here too, we can see that we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and it looks like we've got, oh, I have to check that. Obviously we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and no 5, and so it looks like we're still in a fourth wave pullback here. So this has still got further to go, but this would be the target for that here. So basically what I'm saying here is that a lot of these stocks here that we're looking at that will drive the Nasdaq are ready to top out here. So in one way or another, all the bearish folks will be getting all really excited with this coming into play here. So yeah, but what we're expecting with all of this is just a simple ABC pattern back here, and then we'll look to be on the long side. So it's interesting, isn't it? So I mean, my approach is that I'm keep an open mind, and I don't want to get fixed on bullish or bearish, but what I am looking for is trade setups within degrees of structures that I understand, and those setups have got to be on support and resistance, and then we can be triggered in from that side. So alrighty, enjoy the weekend. Cheers.